Hey there, folks. Karshel here. Thank you for joining me once again. At the moment, what we are doing is trying to build up to the point where we have a research level 2 bench. Sadly, I do not have enough books to do that. The one vendor here in Squin, which sells them, just isn't really putting out much in the way of quantity. I don't believe that any of the bars sell them, but we'll do a quick check on that. Well, actually, no, we won't, because at the moment I can't afford them even if they're there. So we're going to go out and do more mining while we wait for the vendor to repop and go from there. Now, I got this guy mouthing off about flatskins not being welcome here. My building is private. I want to kind of see if he's going to come in. No, he doesn't. Okay. Well, he basically was just talking shit and then running away before we could do anything about it. Pardon my language. That kind of slipped out. In general, I try to be well behaved, but there are times, you know. Okay. Back out here to do the mining thing again. Yes, it does get somewhat repetitious and tedious, but that is part of Kenshi. It's part of the early game, especially because you have really limited options until you get up and running. Okay, who's going to be mining on this trip? So, Flick is taking it easy. Oh, okay, I guess she's earned it. Now, what do we got going on over here? Not much of anything. Okay, for undisturbed work, this side seems to function far better than where I used to be going over here, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm out here doing this and just waiting until the vendor repops, because they only had 4 books when I went into them last time, and I need 6 to be able to research the level 2 bench. So we're out here just making money until such time as the vendor gets restocked, and we'll go back in at like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, somewhere in there. One stack. What's my price going for now? Still 70. So it has dropped from the initial 90 when I started, but 70 is the lowest I have seen it go so far. I can work with that. That's 630 cats per stack of 9. So I need at least 3 stacks to be able to purchase 6 books. Well, I need roughly 3 stacks, depending on what the actual price of the book is now. Hopefully it's not too shabby. If they're under 6, or if they're under 315 per, then I can get away with doing that. I think that math works out right. Yeah, 315 times 2 books would be 630. Yeah. If they're over that, then my 2 books per stack does not hold up. Either way, I will have more than 3 stacks by the time 5 o'clock in the morning comes when I head back into town, or 7 o'clock, or whatever. Now, this is a completely different starting strategy than what I have been doing. So I'm kind of doing it just to show folks that there are other options, rather than just going out as a base level adventurer and having it rough, or looking for fights and then picking over the spoils. This does not take very long to get rolling. As you can see, game time, I am at just over a week. Already own a building, already have a research bench up and running, And it's not going to take all that long before, at least in theory, I start producing armor which is fairly decent. Not only to wear, because I'm still basically in 0 gear, but to sell at a profit. And once you have money available, especially in a town like Squin, or potentially in better areas where there are armor vendors, you can gear yourself up with that gear based on the sales of what you produce. And since you're doing your own production with a character, that is only for the good in the long run. And we're going to keep doing the mining thing until roughly 5 or 6 in the morning. And still, the only thing that I have seen come wander by here was a bone dog. That's kind of handy. I like that. And it looks like I will have 4, maybe more stacks by the time I want to divert and head into town. So that should be plenty to buy at least 6 books, provided that there are 6 books available. So Squin is not optimum for doing this, but it's what I have available. And I guess it's good to start in an area where it's not optimal, because if it's doable here, then certainly in a better city, it would work better. I don't believe it would work well in the hub because there is no general outfitter there. There is simply a couple of bars, and there is the Thieves Guild. I have never paid for membership in the Thieves Guild, so I don't know what they have. Perchance they actually would have the same merchandise as a general vendor. If so, then maybe that would work. Maybe they would have a better stock level. I don't know. Now, I probably don't need to be in sneak mode, but it'll skill up a little bit as I slowly approach the guards. Probably not very much because the guards will see through it really quick, but might as well get that tick or two that I can. Again, because over time it'll make a difference. Okay, once they see me, might as well come out of sneak. And everybody in the building. Now, my apologies to Celestial Paladin. So far, I haven't put a lot of effort into working up your strength, but I guarantee it's coming. I also have not got you killed yet, so it's a trade-off on that one. I love that I can sell just by shift right-clicking on those. And 5 books. And I know that I'm going to need iron, so... Well, wait a minute. I think I'm also out of food. I'm going to hold off on buying the iron and buy food instead. Which means running my butt down here to the bar. Although I suppose I could dump my books first. Or can I do that on the fly? I can do it on the fly. Okay, good. In the bar, folks. In the bar. Dular. Let's start doing some research, shall we? Core. Tech Bench 2. All right, and that leaves me 3 books. I don't think I need any of those at the moment. Since I have a plan in mind, I'm not going to worry about the extra stuff at this point. Now, as you can see, I've already got iron plates stowed in here. I'm going to need, if I remember correctly, 10 of them for the research bench too. So last time I was in town, I bought what I could afford. After he gets the tech bench 2 researched, then I'll figure out exactly how much more I need to build it, and that will become my priority then. Okay, so Karshel, let's go, let's go. Oh, thanks. Put that rock right in the way. Nope, nope, nope. Stop. Talk to him. Now, how much food you got? 13. It's mine. Mine, I tell you. All mine. Now, that was unanticipated, but I like it. I bought it with him, and he ran it all right back to the food storage thingy. And I like that. I personally think that's a really good thing. Cool. Okay, he is working on the tech level 2 bench. It is going to take a while. So, rather than just having downtime, guess where I'm going? I bet you just can't guess, can you? I just bet you can't. Do I have a limited imagination? Perchance. Considering I do the same thing over and over. Doctor, doctor, I have this recurring dream. Yeah. Can you tell that the coffee has kicked in? Perhaps. Okay. And who's slacking this time? Flick, once again. Smart girl. When I created the game, if you notice, there was one person who had bonuses to the armor smithing. That was Flick. So I'm not overly concerned about whether or not she is out here working her laboring skills, because she's going to end up being parked on the leather bench and cranking out armors until such time as she can start producing things that are sellable for a profit. And the more skillful she gets and the faster that skill of hers goes up, the sooner that is going to happen. The sooner also my folks are going to be geared well enough to take a beating, you know. Now, let's go take a look here and go into slow mode. He researched Tech Bench 2. So I want to build Research Bench 2, which requires 10 iron plates. And I think if I can do it, can I not even fit one in here? That would piss me off. It really would. Da-da-da. What about upstairs? If I can't fit this on this building, that will have made this entire thing a costly learning experience. And I don't know that I can. Well, see, now I thought it would fit in a longhouse. But it sure does not seem like it wants to. Too close to another building. So Does that mean if I got rid of those, I could do it? You know, I might have to find out. God, that's terrible. Well, one way or another, come back over here. Okay, research bench 2. Okay, so that was the problem. Now I can fit it in here. And that's where I want it. Confirmed! Yes, I know you don't have any building materials. Okay. There's a few of them to get you started. I will need 4 more, it looks like. So go build that. Karshel. Okay. I used to have such fits with targeting. Many thanks, Celestial Paladin, for the suggestions you made as far as selecting individual members or selecting whole squad and all that kind of stuff. It made my life so much easier. And kicking him up to speed. Did I go to the vendor today? I think I did. I think that I came back out here afterwards, so I don't need to go back in. Although I could, because I do need more iron plates. So, yes, this group is going to run back into town and pick up some iron plates. Run back in. Not going to bother to sneak, since I want to make sure I get there before the store closes, and I don't know what time he does that. There you go. Aw, I'm glad I'm his favorite customer. Should be. And I'm actually going to grab all of them. Oh, and he's got $8. And of course I can't afford it. But at least it's good to know that he gets more on occasion. Although I don't know at this point, until I get up and rolling, how many more I'm going to need. Until I get that bench built, it's kind of irrelevant. Okay. Now, were there any books left on this one? Yes, there were. So, can I pull those? I can. And I can pull those. And I want to put them all... Well, I want to put the books there. Research bench 2. Okay, so I'm on the right one. Now, see, this gives me more options as far as training my folks up. Eventually, that will matter. Okay, my building's marked as private. Somebody still came wandering in here. I'm going to need storage boxes, crafting, so that I can store... See, okay, sometimes when moving this is a pain in the butt, but if you go off to the side, so that I can store leather, so that I can store fabric. Skins will eventually be nice when I can get access to it. Same with regular meat, but that way I can store the items that I'm going to be using to create the leather armor. And that will be another thing that I have to farm the vendors for in order to get. What else do I want? Storage boxes, or I think at this point in time, it's not going to be critical because until I get a weapons bench set up, then I'm not going to need to worry about storing iron plates. Or will I? No, the leather's going to need fabric and leather. The iron plates will be necessary for when I set up a weapons bench, and that will be down the wall for a bit. Crafting, hemp-based fabric manufacture, first aid kits, sleeping bags. All of those will be important eventually, but they're not critical as far as my research right now. Beds kind of would be. Basic exterior lighting, light post, everything. I don't need any of those. Cooking, I don't need any of that at the moment. So I need this. Oh, and it doesn't even take any books. Okay, that goes in. That takes books. That does not take books. That goes in. That takes a book. Those take books. Smithing. Weapon melting, not critical right now. Clothing manufacture, not critical right now. Basic weapon grades 2. Until I get a weapons bench, that's kind of irrelevant, isn't it? So am I actually going to have books that I don't need to train immediately? Beds, I think those are important enough to deal with, just in case I do get jumped. I guess I'm surprised that I'm getting this far ahead. That takes 1. First aid kits takes 2. Fabric manufacture, until I'm growing cotton or hemp, it doesn't matter. Hemp, not hump, hemp. Corpse disposal is irrelevant at this point. Makeshift walls are irrelevant at this point. I already have basic lighting. I think I'm actually doing okay and don't need to do a lot of additional stuff. So I might as well roll with that. Well, no. Beds and sleeping bags. Okay. So that is now going. And he is doing the research. CP, come back here. No. Over there. You go away. You come up. Thank you. It's just a matter of what's appropriate. Okay, dude. Why are you coming into my facility here? Because you're a dust bandit and you just don't care. Yeah, I get that. Okay. Dismantle. Yeah, it's dismantling fast enough. So now my next step will be building, crafting. Why don't I have an option for a weapon or a leathersmith? Storage leather, weapon stand. So I have a weaponsmith option, but not a leathersmith option? Okay, let's take a look at that, shall we? Research, crafting, hemp-based fabric. Medium, tech base 3. Industry. Smithing. Clothing manufacture. Leather armor crafting. Why didn't I notice that one before? Maybe because I only had 3 books and it was not coming up because it was 4. No, the problem was I was on the research bench 1 rather than the research bench 2. So of course it wasn't available. Yeah, idiot. Okay, so guess who's going to go out and do some more mining? It's exciting, isn't it? Okay. So I need to have 4 books to be able to do that. Kind of bothers me that dust bandits are wandering into my building. I imagine that if I locked the door, it would not happen. Probably being in town, it is not going to be a big issue. But I worry about the possibility of them actually aggroing on Dular because he's in there all alone. But that probably would have happened by now if that was going to happen. I'm going to naively assume that that's the case. Now I need to pick up another 4 books. I'm assuming that's going to be 5 o'clock in the morning. Game time on day 11 when I can do that. And then I will research the leather crafting, and then I will park Flick in there to crank out leathers and set up her station, so to speak, which will be leather storage, fabric storage, and an armor chest, since I had to break that other one down to place the research bench. And then that's what she is going to do. It may take a while for that to become viable, simply because until her skill gets up, I don't know that what she makes is going to cover the cost of the leather and fabric that I have to buy for her. Once her skill gets to the point where she is producing decent armor that sells to the vendors for a fair amount, then it can simply become a routine of making sure that she is supplied and making money for the team while everybody else is out doing whatever the heck they want to do. Might not have to do much mining, can get some decent gear set up for everybody and have an almost constant flow of income coming in, provided that I keep her supplied with goods. That's the theory anyway. Well, I'm going to be mining for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. I will pick it up again when she is up and running, she being Flick, and we can see how viable that all is. So thank you for watching. I hope that you join me again on the next run. Feel free to comment, like, share, and if you haven't already, then please subscribe. This is Karshel. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.